आपका नाम?
Well, I'm Deep. I'm one of the founders of Ambo. We're a fast casual Indian restaurant in New York. Our goal is to bring everyday Indian food, which is fast, convenient, healthy, to everyone.
In a bowl concept. Very nice.
For a lot of people, this is their everyday food. We have customers who eat here every day.
Wow.
So our menu is designed around being like, what can you eat every day that will taste good, but it will make you feel good. And for the beans,
Black lentils and chickpeas. Yeah. Protein chicken, please. So this is grilled chicken?
this is grilled chicken. It's all white meat. It's
Very nice.
like, lots of protein, really healthy. If you want, you can get some tikka masala sauce with it.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, sure. So tikka masala sauce. Very nice.
And for your vegetable,
Cauliflower, please. A little bit of bhindi.
alright, so this is gobi manchurian. So this is cauliflower in a Indian Chinese sauce.
Oh, nice.
Normally it is fried, but we just steam it.
Yeah. So this is bhindi. So many toppings. So they have coconut chutney,
Coconut chutney, right?
and this is.
This is cabbage achar.
Uh-huh.
This is like, Indians usually want some kind of achar
Uh-huh.
when they eat food. So we definitely wanted something that's, achar.
Uh-huh.
This is sweet mango chutney. This
Uh-huh.
is like really popular in Gujarat. Like
Uh-huh.
it's made from green mangoes, so it's like sour but also sweet.
Uh-huh.
This is bangan bharta. It's
Bangan bharta.
usually served hot, but we think it really works well boiled with the type of like bowl we serve.
Uh-huh.
This is kachumbar.
Kachumbar. Okay,
Right.
kachumbar.
So this is cucumbers, tomatoes, onions. This is like fresh salad. We don't really eat salad in India, but yeah. And this is raita.
Raita.
Normally raita is a little more watery. Ours is like thick. It's made like with strained yogurt, and then with onions.
Got it. So can I have like coconut chutney? And cabbage, please. A little bit. And wow. So for drinks, they have Limca, Thumbs Up, India Se. I think आपने import किया India से Thumbs Up. You imported it?
It is imported. Yeah,
Oh,
they don't
nice.
make thumbs up.
Oh, nice. And mango lassi and chas. So I'm gonna try the chas because it's really good for health. And they have sparkling water and water.
Everything we do here is scalable, right? Like we want to be able to serve as many people as possible. So we decided that we don't want to have a tandoor, right?
Tandoor, huh? Yeah, it's really hard.
It's really hard, and you need a lot of skills. So it wouldn't work when you have like lots of locations. And we're in New York. This is like the pizza town, right? So we thought like naan is pretty much pizza with no topping, right? So we thought it's easy, but it did not work out that quickly. Like we had to try like a lot. We had over 50 different recipes that we tried.
The roti ko bel kiya. Like, is it automatically like thinned out, or you did it?
we have this roller, so we used to use a rolling pin, but it's just faster, so we just
Oh, nice.
and we stretch it out just like that.
Oh, stretching it out. Okay. Wow. So कह रहे हैं कि 30 seconds में बन जाएगा. क्या बात है, ये फूल रहा है. So pizza style naan. Okay, it's done. It's done. Wow. It's perfectly shaped out. half is good. I mean, इतना खाया नहीं जाएगा. But yeah, I can offer them.
I think you have to eat this much.
Okay, thank you so much.
No, it wasn't where you from. You know where you from. It was.
हर चीज़ automated है. So for example, everything has a timer. You click on a timer. Naan के लिए 30 seconds.
So you can see here that we can see how long ago we made the naan. So we try to like serve it like within
Fresh.
10 minutes of it. So when it's busy, like, it keeps going. When I drop falafels in, I will just tap this, so it starts the timer. And it will ring. Not a lot is going on right now because now it's like, post lunchtime. Lunchtime is our busy time.
Everything from scratch. Wow. Nice. And inspection हर महीने US हर साल US पे inspection होती है ना. आपको date पता होता है when is the inspection? You know the date?
No, it's a surprise inspection.
Every time, any time in a year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Any time
they
in a
have
year?
to see
Wow.
how you, operate. So, of course, if they tell you they're coming, then you will keep everything good.
Oh wow.
But it's always a surprise. But
So hello everyone, today we are at Ambo restaurant. ये NYC University के बिल्कुल साथ में आता है on which street?
8th Street.
8th Street, and we had bowl-based Indian food, which was one of the best experience so far in New York City. So आप बताना अपनी story, like you came as an engineer,
Right.
and how did you start the restaurant? So where are you
Right.
from? वहाँ से start करते हैं.
So, I'm from Baroda.
Uh-huh.
So, we are 3 partners. All of us are from Baroda. We're actually from the same school.
Oh, in Gujarat.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
In
Same
Baroda
high
and
school.
Gujarat. Same high school in Gujarat, yeah. So yeah, we were all here, and we saw this like big opportunity. Most Indian restaurants here, they serve the same kind of food, and we saw like so many people coming from India. They miss like Indian food, but not just Indians. Like we were actually not happy with like the Indian food that's available. Like it's great, like it's wedding style Indian food for once in a while, but Americans don't have any idea like what do people in India eat every day apart from like a typical Indian restaurant.
Yeah, everyone
there is so
just-
much more, right?
Yeah, everyone just knows chicken tikka masala,
Exactly.
butter chicken, and nah, that's it. That's all people know, and they
Exactly.
think you eat every day, but that's not true.
Right. So actually, we started. We didn't know what to do. Like when we started this, like we would change our menu every day. Like I'm an engineer. I worked in tech, so my background just tells me like just try something, get feedback, and then iterate. Like try something else. See how it's going.
Agile framework.
Right. Agile, like yeah, agile. Like literally, our menu was like I built it. Like I'm an engineer, so I built it in like JavaScript and React, and every day like my menu had live reloading. Like we would put it on the TV outside, and we would live change the menu. Right, like every day we would change the menu. We would see like get feedback. What do people think? But eventually we realized like, we have to like understand what we want to serve, and then we can work on the quality. So everything we serve, every batch we make, like we try to gather feedback. Everything is documented, like how we have wikis in like engineering,
and automated. Like how we have like automated lot of processes like naan and
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. So like I told you, like we don't have any Indian employees, so everything here is pretty much made by like people who don't understand, like they don't know what they're doing, but they make something. They follow like our recipe. It's detailed. It's like everything is done to the gram. Like everything is weighed out, and they make it, and it like you cannot tell like it's not made by an Indian, right? So we want to scale this concept. Like we want to make Indian food that people eat in India every day available to more people, right? Like there are so many people that walk in here who have never tried Indian food, right? This is their first, like, and we're so happy like that we get to like introduce them to so many different things, not just chicken tikka masala, right? So yeah, like this is stuff that you can eat every day.
Absolutely.
We wanted to show that like Indian food is not one dimensional. It's not just like this one particular kind of thing. People want to eat healthy now, right? Like there are a lot of restrictions. People don't want to eat dairy or gluten, and like everyone has their own thing, right? Like we want to show that Indian food is like actually one of the best types of food to do all this with, but people just don't know that, right? Like
Absolutely.
there are there's so much to Indian food, and there's so much you can do with it. It can serve any kind of diet or lifestyle. So that's what we want to like take further, you know.
Can you please share when the idea came to switching from engineering? When did you plan to quit your engineering job, because it is one of the highest paid in the US? No one wants to quit that salary. When because I thought like you multitask and you do your full-time job as well, and this is part-time. But this is full-time that they're doing in New York City. It's incredible.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I thought like the same thing. Like I will just keep doing my engineering job and run a restaurant on the side.
So where you used to work? Can you please give some background?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So me personally, I did my undergrad in computer science at University of Michigan.
Nice.
And then I worked in big tech. So I worked at Yelp. I worked at Uber.
Nice.
And then I worked at a few startups in New York.
Wow. So he was leaving a big check behind.
Yeah, so I cannot believe I'm doing this right now, but yeah, so originally the goal was like I will just continue my tech job, but once we started, I just realized like it's not possible. Running a restaurant is very difficult.
Very difficult.
I realize how much work like goes into it. Like people know it's very difficult, but I don't think people appreciate how much actually like the work required. Like we cook food every day from scratch, right? Like imagine if you have a grocery store or this store, like you come in the morning, you turn on the lights and you have a store.
Yeah.
Like a restaurant, like you have to cook food and you have to have ingredients for that. Like there are fresh ingredients, they can go bad. It's a live thing, right? Like every minute you have to like work, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't do it. So I couldn't have a job and do that. Although that was my goal. For Sagar, he's one of my partners. He was also an engineer. He, from the start, just had a passion for this. So he like, I think he did a couple internships and he had like a job for a little bit, but he was like working at Egg Mania, which is like a popular Indian restaurant in New Jersey. So he was managing that for a while, and then he wanted to do something of his own. I had a tech job, so I was like, let's like, you know, see how we can do this. So we like, we took over an existing like failing business, which is like our Indian restaurant, and we converted. So we operated under their restaurant to just learn. So that was very valuable for me to just learn. So that was like a very cheap way of learning, getting into the business, because they were not doing good and they just wanted to get rid of the business. So we got a lot of equipment. Like it was not in very good shape, but like, you know, we worked hard, like somehow we survived, and we learned a lot. But yeah, Sagar had like, he just liked to do this, right? Like work in the kitchen, work on recipes, make food, you know. So he was from the start, like he was working in the restaurant world. I got drawn into it by force, but like, I don't know now if I will go back to engineering now, but we'll see.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So quitting the salary is really hard. Like, do you still miss?
Definitely. Like, so as everyone knows, like in the tech industry, like I used to work at Uber and startups. Like it's, now I realize that it was like such easy money, right? Like people don't realize that.
Because
that is a lot of work.
Profit margin is like basically 20-30% in restaurants.
Well, it's nothing when you start. Like you don't make profit. Like people also don't realize, like restaurants, like even successful restaurants don't make money for first few years, right? Like it just doesn't work like that. So that's tough. That like I have a lot of empathy for like hard work now. Like working in the tech industry, like we don't like realize how hard people work outside of the tech industry. You know.
So, but what makes it worth it? Like, अगर किसी को करनी है, मतलब they want to start it. Like, what do you think overall this journey, after like years of hard work into your restaurant, how much it has been?
It has been now, so we actually started pre-pandemic in a different location. So we were only there 6 months and then the pandemic hit, so we had to close down. And then we moved here. So that was a year, and this has been like 2 years now.
2 years. So like, what do you think so far 2 years of hard work had actually made it fruitful?
Yeah, it's you know, when you see like there's a line of people who want to eat your food and everyone is raving about it, everyone is posting about it. You know, people take photos, people bring their friends. Like sometimes we hear from random people, like, or walking on the street, you see someone carrying an Ambo Bowl. It makes you feel like you're doing something good, you know, like. So I think a lot of these small things that make it worth it. But eventually it's about the goal, like it's about our mission. Like we want to leave an impact, we want to take Indian food to more people. We want to show the world that, you know, Indian food is a lot more. It can fit in your lifestyle, it can help you, right? So yeah, like all of these things is what keeps us going.
And where the recipe comes from? You have food all over India, so where does it come from? Who made
So
it?
I would say like there's not too much, like there's no secret recipe. Like when I started, you know, we have open source in like software, right? Like I was very adamant, like we'll have open source recipes, like nothing secret about it. Hopefully one day we'll do that, but recipes are nothing secret. Like a lot of recipes are like calling our grandma, or like talking to someone. Like they know better than us, right? Like for us,
Khana, yeah.
exactly, right? Like Indian people are good at food. Like there is no lack of recipes. So for us, it's just like taking all that like wealth of knowledge and like figuring out how do you use that, right? Like it's nothing that we do really. So our job is just to accept it, you know, and then figure out like how can we make it work here? Like what can we do here? Which recipes can we work with? Which are like out of our scope? Like it's too much for us to do, or like it's not practical, it's not scalable. But yeah, our job is just to figure that out. Like how do we make it, bring it to practice, right? Like I think that's most of running a restaurant is like the practical aspect of it. People would think that it's all about your recipe and like the chef. Maybe it is like that for a lot of restaurants, but for us, like we just serve like basic food, right? Like people love it, but there is nothing like, you know,
Secret about it.
there is nothing secret, exactly.
Last question will be, as an immigrant, it's hard to create a company. How did you sort that out? How did you fix the challenges of creating a company?
I wouldn't say it was hard for us to create a company. Like, so since like I'm a citizen, so that made it easy for us. But it's definitely hard as an immigrant. Since I grew up in India, so you know, part of why we started this is like being an immigrant and that experience of being away from your like home country and like trying to bring something from your home country. But I guess
What was the biggest challenge then?
biggest challenge of opening this restaurant?
Yeah.
It's just hard work. Like you don't know how much like as a restaurant owner things you have to do. Like sometimes like your basement can be flooded with like drain water, or like, you know, like crazy things can happen which have like you don't want to know what all has happened and what, like it's just the everyday of running this restaurant. Like yeah.
But thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of course.
It was
Thank
really
you for visiting.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure, and I loved the food. That's why I came
Thank
back,
you.
and I mean it.
Thank you.